Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we sometimes need a magnifying glass and a strong cup of coffee to make sense of what companies are up to. Today we are diving into Sentient Brands Holdings Incorporated's latest report. And let me tell you, it's a bit of a mixed bag with some moves that are definitely raising eyebrows. So, what is the big news from Sentient Brands Holdings Incorporated in their recent filing? Get ready for some significant shifts in how they operate, who is counting their money, and how they plan to pay people. We're talking about changes in their accounting firm, a big pivot in their manufacturing and sales model, and a complete overhaul of how their key people get paid. Plus, there is talk of borrowing money and even trying to get listed on a bigger stock market. It's a lot, so let's break it down. First off, the company is pretty upfront about what this report is all about. They're telling us about a bunch of things like changes in their auditor, major agreements being signed for their subsidiaries, a new way of paying their executives and vendors, getting ready to borrow some cash, aiming for a bigger stock market listing, moving their main office and even reincorporating some of their businesses in a new state, opening up new bank accounts, and bringing in a special advisor to look at how they do their audits and manage the company. This isn't just a little tweak here and there, this is a significant overhaul of their business. Let's talk about the really big operational shift. Sentient Brands is making some major changes to how their subsidiaries like Aqua Emergency, Incorporated AIG-F and B, Incorporated and Wyoming Bears Incorporated will operate. They're moving to a drop ship model. Think of it like this: instead of holding all their products in warehouses, they'll be sending orders directly from the manufacturer to the customer. The company says this will make things simpler, cut down on costs, and make their audits easier. They're transferring their inventory to related companies. And this transfer is being treated as a payment for future manufacturing and delivery services. They believe this is all in line with accounting rules. This kind of move can be a double-edged sword. It can really cut costs and boost efficiency if done right. But it also means less direct control over the supply chain and the customer experience. Now, for a shake-up in who is checking their books, Sentient Brands has a new accounting firm, Cathedral CPAs and Advisors LLP. This happened on the 31st of December 2025. They've brought in Cathedral to audit their financial statements for the year ending the 31st of December 2025. And to review things quarterly in 2026. At the same time, they let go of their old accounting firm, Victor Mokwalu CPA PLC. Importantly, the company states there were no disagreements with the former auditor about accounting, financial reporting, or auditing procedures. This is usually a positive sign, suggesting a smooth transition rather than an escape from problems. It's good to see they're being transparent about this change, and that there isn't any messy fallout with the previous auditors. Here is something pretty radical: they're changing how people get paid. Starting the 31st of December 2025, executives, directors, and even consultants will be paid purely based on projects and performance. No more regular salaries or monthly payments. Everything needs to be approved by the board of directors and tied to specific, measurable results. This is a bold move. It could really align everyone's interests with the shareholders, pushing for better performance. But it also means a lot of uncertainty for the people working there, especially if projects don't pan out or if it takes a long time to see results. It's all about drive and results, which can be great, but we'll have to see how it plays out in practice. There is more happening behind the scenes. The board of directors has approved several other key actions. First, they're getting ready for a potential equity credit line, which is basically a flexible loan that could start at $250,000 and go up to $1.5 million. This gives them access to funding if they need it. Second, they're preparing to list on the OTCQB venture market. This is a step up from where they might be now, aiming for greater visibility and potentially easier access to capital. Third, they're planning to move their main office to Wyoming and reincorporate some of their subsidiary businesses there as well. Wyoming is known for being business friendly, so this move likely aims to simplify regulations or reduce costs. Fourth, they're opening new bank accounts, both for operations and for holding money in escrow, with specific people authorized to sign off on transactions. And finally, they're hiring an independent advisor to look into their audit processes and how the company is run overall, which points to a desire for better governance and financial oversight. The filing also mentions that the Wyoming Bears Incorporated agreement officially takes effect on the 1st of January 2026. All these steps seem geared towards making the company more robust, efficient, and attractive to investors. Now, like almost all companies, Sentient Brands includes a section called Forward-Looking Statements. This is basically their way of saying, hey, we're talking about the future here, and things might change. They warn that actual results could be very different from what they're hoping for because of things like market acceptance of their products, supply chain issues, and just general business conditions. It's important to remember these are projections, not guarantees. They're saying this because they have to protect themselves legally, but it's always a good reminder to be cautious when companies talk about their future plans. And of course, we have the exhibits. In this case, they've listed a board of directors resolution dated the 31st of December 2025. This is where they formally documented a lot of the decisions we just went over. It's like the official record of all these significant changes. Signatures, and finally, down at the bottom, we see the sign-off, George Furlan. The Chief Executive Officer signed this report on the 9th of January 2026. This confirms that the company is officially submitting this information to the authorities. So, what is my take on all of this? Sentient Brands Holdings Incorporated is clearly in a period of major transition. The move to a dropship model, the new compensation structure, and the preparation for a potential uplisting all suggest a company trying to become leaner, more efficient, and potentially more attractive to investors. The change in auditors without any stated disagreements is a good sign of a smooth process. However, the shift to a purely performance-based compensation model for key personnel carries inherent risks of internal friction and could create instability if not managed perfectly. The planned move to Wyoming and reincorporation of subsidiaries could streamline operations but also adds complexity. The equity credit line provides a financial safety net, which is wise. Overall, Sentient Brands is making some bold moves to reshape its operations and financial strategy. The success of these changes will depend heavily on execution and market conditions. They are clearly focused on optimizing costs and improving governance, which is a step in the right direction for long-term stability. The biggest opportunities seem to lie in the potential uplisting and the promise of efficiency from the dropship model. The risks are mainly in the execution of these complex changes and potential challenges in attracting and retaining talent under the new compensation structure. Alright, that is our breakdown of Sentient Brands Holdings Incorporated's latest filing. What's your take on these strategic shifts? Are they building a stronger company or taking on too much too fast? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this analysis valuable, hitting that like button really helps us out, and subscribe for more deep dives into corporate filings. And don't forget to check out our Discord community linked in the description for even more discussions. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next decode.